This is Dublin Castle in the capital city of the Republic of Ireland. It began as a Viking settlement. Later it became the centre of English colonial rule in Ireland. And since 1922 it has been used by the independent Irish state for national events. Looking at Dublin Castle, we're aware that it is not a single construction. It wasn't built by a single group of people, and moreover, it hasn't been used for the same social function constantly throughout its history. It is an accretion or build-up. As we look at it, different historical layers simultaneously are evident to us. This can serve as an analogy to introduce modern Irish literature in which comparably different cultures and different historical presences are apparent to us at the same time as we read. Firstly, Irish literature often looks back to the island's ancient and Celtic past. Secondly, much of Irish literature engages with the experience of colonial subjection by Britain. Thirdly, modern literature reflects on Ireland as an independent state. Catholic for much of the 20th century, now increasingly progressive and secular. Initially, after independence, leaning towards America and away from Britain, and nowadays very much European as a member of the European Union. As cursory historical knowledge, I need to point out one complication. Ireland didn't become fully independent in 1922, but split. The reasons for this decision to divide the country lie in the distant past, when England relocated large numbers of Scottish Presbyterians to Ireland, offering them land in exchange for loyalty. So when the independence movement culminated in 1921, there was a substantial population in the north of Ireland that identified as British. The decision was made to split the country, with the Irish Free State formed in 1922, subsequently known as the Republic of Ireland, and Northern Ireland remaining part of Britain. A text like Dominic Behan's song The Patriot Game shows us how our different historical layers can interact. The Patriot Game is about a member of the Irish Republican Army, or IRA, which continued to agitate for a united Ireland. Having been part of the independence movement early in the 20th century, in Behan's lifetime, the IRA had been declared an illegal terrorist organisation by the Irish government. It's important to register that the Patriot Game is about a real incident in which teenager Fergal O'Hanlon died because he'd been betrayed by his own side. The voice which Dominic Behan gives to O'Hanlon in the Patriot Game is one in which the young man is drawn to ancient paradigms of heroism. And this is one of the aspects of Irish culture that is going to recur in the texts that we study. Another recurrent aspect of modern Irish literature is implicit in the conclusion to the Patriot Game, in which the deceased, Fergal O'Hanlon, lies with his body full of holes. And between the lines is a question about whether historical struggle is worth it. Societies reflect on whether the present has fulfilled the promises of the past, whether they have done justice to the efforts of their forebears. There is a two-way street between culture and politics. Obviously, literary texts react to what's going on. They portray the big events. They judge what has happened morally. But they also have the power to bring about political change by influencing their readership, and readership is society. As we'll see in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, literature was central to the Irish independence movement. But literature is still central today, and I believe this is unique. I don't know of any other country in which literature is as central to public life as it is in Ireland, where literature still enjoys a status. It has gravitas. Literature has been instrumentalist, used in an attempt to bring about political change and fashion a particular image of the nation. But literature can also provide a common ground for various traditions on the island. And old devices and inherited forms can be made speak to the present, serving new needs in later times. 21st century Irish literature is certainly inward-looking, reflecting on the state of the nation, how we got there and where we're going. But it's also outward-looking, situating Ireland in a changing world. When we read recent Irish texts, we see in them the concerns of a highly globalised nation. The critic David Damrosch has written that national and world literatures support each other in a kind of biofeedback loop. The Irish shape and are shaped by the others they encounter. And the Irish overseas, or diaspora, are a pronounced concern of the Irish government at present, reflecting, of course, the great amount of emigration that occur from Ireland to this day. To that end, it's fitting that the scope of our studies here includes Irish experience in places such as North America and Australia,